What do you do when the soul of your nation is so contested, so steeped in ancient history, yet so violently new, that you decide to build a new face for it from scratch? You leave behind the chaotic, breathing, living cities of your ancestors. Cities that carry the weight of 1,000 years in their dust. And you carve a capital out of the wilderness. A city of straight lines, green lawns, and a quiet, almost sterile order. But can a planned city ever truly represent a country defined by glorious, untamable chaos? This is the central paradox of Pakistan, a nation often painted in monochrome by news headlines, but in reality is a canvas of explosive color and profound contradiction. To understand it, we can't just be tourists skimming the surface. We have to become explorers, piecing together a story of identity forged in the fires of partition, carved in the stone of ancient empires, and painted with breathtaking artistry on the side of a speeding, rumbling truck. This isn't a simple travelogue. This is an investigation into the heart of an enigma. Join me as we unravel Pakistan. Before any journey into modern Pakistan can truly begin, we must first travel back in time, to 1947. This date isn't just a number in a history book. It's a seismic event, a deep, unhealed wound that bleeds into every aspect of contemporary Pakistani life, politics, and identity. The end of the British Raj didn't just create two countries, India and Pakistan. It unleashed the largest and one of the most brutal mass migrations in human history. The idea of Pakistan was born from the two-nation theory, a belief championed by figures like Muhammad Ali Jinnah, which argued that Hindus and Muslims were two distinct nations, unable to coexist peacefully within a single, independent India. It was a call for a homeland, a sanctuary for the subcontinent's Muslim minority. A British lawyer, Sir Cyril Radcliffe, who had never set foot in India before, was given just 5 weeks to draw a line on a map. This line, the Radcliffe Line, sliced through the provinces of Punjab and Bengal, severing ancient communities, bisecting villages, and even cutting through individual houses. What followed was a cataclysm. Over 10 million people were uprooted in a frantic, desperate exodus. Hindus and Sikhs scrambled towards the new borders of India. Muslims fled towards the promise of Pakistan. The journey was paved with unimaginable violence. Trains packed with refugees arrived at their destinations silent, their occupants massacred. Entire villages were razed. Women bore the brunt of the most horrific brutality. Estimates suggest that up to 2 million people were killed in the communal carnage. This partition, or Taksim as it's known, is the country's traumatic birth. It is the nation's original sin and its founding epic, all at once. This history is essential because it explains the visceral, often hostile, relationship with India. They are not just neighbors, they are estranged twins, born from the same parent civilization, but scarred by the violent separation. It's why both nations, despite sharing deep cultural roots in language, food, and dress, are nuclear-armed rivals. Their armies face each other down across the line of control in the disputed territory of Kashmir, a beautiful mountain region with a Muslim majority, ruled by a Hindu Maharaja who chose to accede to India in 1947, sparking the first of 3 major wars between them. The nuclear arsenal isn't a point of pride for its own sake. It's a strategic doctrine born from a deep-seated fear of its much larger neighbor, a guarantee of survival forged in the memory of 1947. And fundamentally, partition explains why Islam is not just a religion here, it is the very bedrock of the state's identity. Pakistan was conceived as a sanctuary, the land of the pure. This foundational idea is the first key to understanding the country. It is a source of immense pride and unity, but also a source of profound and ongoing debate about what it truly means to be a modern Islamic republic. A debate between secularists and Islamists, between modernizers and traditionalists, that continues to shape its destiny. Now, let's step into the present day, into the urban heartlands of Pakistan. If your first impression comes from its largest cities, Lahore and Karachi, you'll be met with an intoxicating, full-body assault on the senses. The original video transcript wasn't wrong about the surface level reality, it just missed the poetry within the chaos. The streets are a tangled web of life. A million motorcycles, often carrying entire families of 4 or 5, weave through traffic like schools of metallic fish. The air is thick with a complex symphony of smells, the sweet aroma of roasting corn, the pungent scent of diesel exhaust, the fragrant cloud of spices from a biryani stall, and the undeniable scent of millions of people living in close quarters. Overhead, power lines hang in dense, chaotic webs like a spider's forgotten masterpiece, a testament to decades of ad hoc solutions. The sheer density of people is overwhelming. It's a river of humanity that never stops flowing. Lahore, the undisputed cultural capital, is a city that has been breathing for over 1,000 years. It's a living museum. Here, the magnificent Badshahi Mosque, a jewel of Mughal architecture, gazes across at the formidable Lahore Fort, its walls echoing with the stories of emperors and conquerors. These titans of history stand shoulder to shoulder with crumbling British-era buildings painted in faded pastels, and these in turn melt into sprawling, unplanned neighborhoods where life spills out from every home and workshop. Karachi, a coastal megacity of over 17 million souls, is the nation's relentless economic engine. A port city built on trade and ambition, it's a magnet for migrants from every corner of the country. From the mountains of the north to the deserts of the south, each seeking a sliver of its promise. These cities are messy, polluted, and undeniably challenging, but they are also vibrantly, fiercely alive. They are the organic, beating, untamed heart of the nation. And then, there is Islamabad, built from scratch in the 1960s and designed by a Greek architect, Konstantinos Doxiadis. Islamabad is the anti-Lahore, the anti-Karachi. It is the nation's planned, curated face presented to the world. Here, the beautiful chaos gives way to a rigid, almost unnerving order. Wide, tree-lined avenues, organized in a strict grid system, replace the tangled, labyrinthine alleyways of the old cities. Manicured public parks and rose gardens replace the dusty, frenetic marketplaces. The architecture is modern, stark, and deliberate. A collection of concrete government buildings and spacious residential sectors. It was designed to be a tranquil, efficient center of government, insulated from the populist furor and historical baggage of the older urban centers. To drive from the old, sprawling city of Rawalpindi into its twin, Islamabad, is to cross an invisible border between two different worlds, two different philosophies of what Pakistan should be. One is the Pakistan that is, a layered, complex, and often contradictory product of centuries of history, migration, and organic struggle. The other is the Pakistan that its post-colonial rulers aspired for it to be: orderly, modern, efficient, and legible to the outside world. This tension between the living city and the planned city is the daily drama of urban Pakistan, a physical manifestation of the nation's ongoing identity crisis. Let's walk back into the glorious chaos of Lahore, but this time with a new lens. Let's look past the dust and the crowds and try to decipher the rich, unspoken language of the streets. The first thing you might notice, as the original video did, is the clothing. The Shalwar Kameez, The loose trousers and long shirt worn by a majority of men and women is not just a matter of tradition. It is a powerful social statement. In a country with vast, visible disparities in wealth, it is a great equalizer. A billionaire industrialist attending a meeting and a humble cart puller navigating the bazaar can wear the same fundamental style of clothing, blurring the lines of class in a way a Western suit and tie never could. It's perfectly adapted to the climate, allowing for air circulation in the searing summer heat. It is a quiet, confident symbol of national identity, a sartorial thread that connects the farmer in a remote village to the banker in a Karachi high-rise. Now follow your nose to the street food stalls, the true culinary soul of urban Pakistan. Yes, Western sensibilities about hygiene can be challenged here, but to dismiss this vibrant culture as just unhealthy is to miss the point entirely. Street food is the lifeblood of the city. It is where community is forged. The sizzle of the chapli kebabs, flattened by hand and fried on a massive griddle. The crunch of a freshly fried samosa filled with spicy potatoes. The sweet, sticky delight of a bright orange jalebi. It's a theater of food. A lawyer on his lunch break might stand shoulder to shoulder with a laborer, both savoring the same spicy delicacy. It's communion served on a paper plate for less than $1. And what about the economy of these streets? The original analysis correctly identified the crushingly low incomes, with many earning just $100 to $150 a month. The poverty is real, stark, and a daily struggle for millions. But that is only one half of a rapidly evolving story. In the cafes and co-working spaces of these same cities, often just a few blocks away from the bustling bazaars, another Pakistan is emerging with astonishing speed. Pakistan has become one of the world's largest and fastest growing communities of online freelancers. Young, tech-savvy men and women, armed with laptops and a hunger for opportunity, are coding, designing, and writing for clients across the globe. They are earning dollars and euros on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, leapfrogging the limitations of the local economy. This burgeoning digital economy coexists, often invisibly, with the manual labor of the streets, creating a complex economic tapestry of desperate struggle and digital age aspiration. And finally, you cannot speak of the streets without speaking of the art. Look at the trucks and buses lumbering through the traffic. They aren't just vehicles, they are roaring masterpieces. This is truck art, a uniquely Pakistani folk art form that is an explosion of color and creativity. Every inch of these behemoths is covered in breathtakingly intricate patterns. Vibrant landscapes, poetic couplets, and idealized portraits of heroes, from army generals to movie stars. Drivers pour their life savings into decorating their trucks, turning a functional machine into a mobile expression of their identity, their faith, and their regional pride. It's a powerful, beautiful declaration to the world. Even in the midst of hardship and chaos, there is an unquenchable, universal human thirst for beauty and expression. The greatest injustice one could do to Pakistan is to believe its story is confined to its noisy cities or its turbulent modern politics. To truly understand the profound depth of this land, you must leave the urban centers behind and journey north. The landscape begins to transform dramatically. The flat, dusty plains of Punjab and Sindh give way to breathtaking green valleys, and then to the titans of the earth. Pakistan is the throne room of the gods of geology. It is home to the spectacular convergence of three of the world's mightiest mountain ranges: the Himalayas, the Karakoram, and the Hindu Kush. Here you will find K2, the second highest mountain on the planet, a pyramid of ice and rock often called the Savage Mountain, for its extreme difficulty, a testament to its formidable challenge for even the world's most elite climbers. The journey along the Karakoram Highway, one of the highest paved international roads in the world, is a pilgrimage through geological time. Hailed as the eighth wonder of the world, this road, carved out of the mountainside by Pakistani and Chinese engineers, snakes through gorges and over high passes. You drive past colossal glaciers, turquoise alpine lakes, and fertile valleys like Hunza, a place so idyllic it's rumored to be the inspiration for the mythical Shangri-La. Life here, in the shadow of 7,000-meter giants like Rakaposhi and Nanga Parbat, is slower, quieter, and deeply connected to the rhythm of the seasons. This is the Pakistan that rarely makes the headlines. A world away from the political turmoil of the South, it offers a profound sense of peace and a humbling perspective on human existence. But the history here is even older than the mountains are tall. This land is a cradle of civilization. Long before the birth of Islam, before the Mughals built their grand forts. This was the heart of the Dindara civilization. For centuries, this region was a vibrant crossroads on the Silk Road, a center of Buddhist learning and art where Eastern spirituality met Greco-Roman aesthetics. The result was a unique and stunning art form, statues of Buddhas with the flowing robes and chiseled features of Greek gods. It is a powerful reminder of the region's historic role as a global melting pot of ideas. And if you travel even further back in time, and south along the banks of the Indus River, you will find the ruins of Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. These are the remnants of the Indus Valley civilization, one of the world's first great urban societies, a contemporary of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. Flourishing over 400-500 years ago, these cities boasted sophisticated urban planning, with grid-like streets, advanced drainage and sewage systems, and a mysterious script that remains undeciphered to this day. Pakistan is not a 76-year-old nation, it is a 5,000-year-old land with a 76-year-old name. The weight of that history is palpable everywhere. So, we have a country born from a violent partition, with a dual identity split between its chaotic, ancient cities and its sterile, modern capital. A place of immense natural beauty and history, so deep it boggles the mind. But what holds it all together? The answer lies in the intangible social fabric, a powerful blend of faith, family, and a profound, almost sacred, code of hospitality. The original video's observation about the lack of women in public spaces holds a kernel of truth. In more conservative areas, Pakistan remains a deeply patriarchal society, with immense challenges and structural barriers for women. But to say women are absent is to ignore the powerful forces of change and the extraordinary resilience they demonstrate. Pakistan elected the first female prime minister of any Muslim-majority country, the late Benazir Bhutto. Malala Yousafzai, the youngest ever Nobel Prize laureate, is a global icon for female education who defied the Taliban. In the cities, women are increasingly visible as doctors, entrepreneurs, pilots, judges, and artists, pushing boundaries and reshaping societal norms every single day. The story of women in Pakistan is not one of absence, but one of ongoing, courageous, and complex struggle. Another vital thread in this fabric is Sufism, a mystical and more tolerant branch of Islam that has been woven into the culture for centuries. It emphasizes a direct, personal connection with God through music, poetry, and devotion. The shrines of Sufi saints, or dargahs, are vibrant centers of spiritual life, welcoming people of all faiths. It is here you will hear the hypnotic, soaring melodies of Qawwali music, an ecstatic form of devotional singing made famous globally by the legendary Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. Sufism provides a powerful, inclusive counter-narrative to the more rigid and political interpretations of Islam, offering a spiritual home for millions. But perhaps the most immediate and powerful social contract you will encounter is hospitality. The true currency of Pakistan is not the rupee, it is Mehman Nawazi, or the art of honoring a guest. A guest is considered a blessing from God. This is not a platitude, it is a lived reality. If you ask for directions on a street corner, you may find yourself being personally driven to your destination, followed by an insistent invitation for tea that you simply cannot refuse. That cup of tea will invariably turn into an elaborate meal. Strangers will go to astonishing lengths to help you and will be genuinely offended if you try to offer payment. This deep-seated tradition is perhaps the most enduring and endearing characteristic of the Pakistani people. It is the human connection that transcends the difficult headlines and political narratives. It's in these moments, sharing a meal in a family home, a story with a shopkeeper, a cup of chai with a stranger, that you finally stop seeing Pakistan as a place on a map and begin to feel its warm, complex, and incredibly resilient soul. So, we return to where we started. Pakistan, a country that can be jarring, challenging, and profoundly misunderstood. It is a land of breathtaking beauty and heartbreaking poverty, of ancient spirituality and modern geopolitical conflict. It is not an easy destination. It doesn't offer the simple comforts of a resort holiday. Instead, it offers something far more valuable: a story. A complex, contradictory, and deeply human story about a nation perpetually searching for itself, caught between the echoes of its ancient past and the dreams of its uncertain future. It doesn't give you easy answers. It just asks you to look deeper, to question your assumptions, and to find the undeniable beauty hidden within its magnificent, glorious chaos. What aspect of this complex national identity surprised you the most? The ancient history, the planned capital, or the art on a truck? Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. If this story opened a new perspective for you, please share this video with a fellow traveler who loves to go beyond the surface and understand the soul of a place. And subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating and misunderstood destinations. Until next time, keep exploring.